Blood. Thanks, Putin. This is the media leading Putin up. You have to know that the profiteers are loving this, right? Let's look at a map of Ukraine because we really need to understand this by understanding Turkey sent drones. Israel sent defensive equipment like missile equipment. France has sent a bunch of stuff. England is always the person that plays those war games, and it's actually out of Switzerland and England every single time. But all of these countries have sent money and weapons to Ukraine. Germany sent helmets, which is hilarious. But if you keep on sending money and weapons towards terrorism, what are you going to get? More terrorism. Like, no crap. Happens every single time. Like, we just overthrew in Libya. We can go across the world, people, and just, like, look at, like, how we've picked people off. But you have to understand the global economic system, we wake up because Switzerland, England, France, like, the wealth managers that control their Ponzi scheme wake us up with a narrative here. That's what the volatility is. Then we go to sleep, and Asia gets to work, whether it's Shanghai or Hong Kong. But when you have banks in the United States selling out credit default swaps to England and here and Europe, when it goes up, they pay a fee. So yes, New York has a crap ton of revenues, but they take that off of the federal budget. That's what the salt tax was. So they don't. So they don't pay as much federal tax as they should, shipping out the entire country's economy for fees. That honestly, if we just change the incentives in New York a little bit for the bankers, so much would change in terms of economic incentives. Let's look at Russian GDP because you have to understand this is when the Cold War ended, and immediately they stagnated, went into like the worst type of economy under a drunk Boris Yeltsin. Everyone joined NATO, teamed up on Russia. You get our boy Putin in there. I mean, he's just a guy that like I respect 100%. And I think that he has tried to minimize conflict in a very, very bad dynamic for Russia. Um, yeah, I'm fully supportive of what Putin has done for the Russian people. All the proxy wars, I think America should take credit for. So there's that. We have to understand what the bias that Russia has, though. What do they want? Why are they playing along with this? Is it really about the land? Sure, they get another port. If we go back to the Ukraine flag, sure, they get another port in the Black Sea. So that they still have to go through Istanbul, but they get another port. They already have the Sevastopol port. They'll get, not Odessa, they'll get like in here. But it's not about taking this land. This is like great farmland in the Middle Ages. Like that's why people wanted this, like very lush soil because of this river. But like, yeah, I mean, it's not about that. It's really just like the fact that weapons are coming into the border. They're building up here because you have to understand Afghanistan, which is right next to Russia, honestly, like pretty close to Russia. The U.S. pulled out of here and causes a crap ton of problems in this area. So now there's problems in this area. There's 7,000 people that have died due to insurgency. Same thing that's happening in Syria. Russia on all of its like borders pretty much has something to worry about. Even over here, they have to worry about the U.S. Naval program. So, like, who is the aggressor here, right? This cornered fox, the cornered fox used to be Mao Zedong. And when you bully a cornered fox, it becomes much bigger. Literally, Chinese communists, the Chinese Communist Party used to just be in, not Chaojing, not Jing, where's, not Nanjing, that's too low, way too low. Not Beijing. Yeah, so like not Shanghai, but like around here, not here. It was like Chengji. This is where the Communist Party used to be. It was surrounded here. The U.S. was sending all this money into not what is now the Taiwan, but it was the Republic of China in order to fight the Japanese. But my point is that like if you corner people, they end up just fighting out in ways that you will never ever expect. If we want Russia to honestly, like actually build a better world for this digital future, like we're going, like, we're losing the game theory. We're taking on way more debt than they are, even though they took on the debt after the end of the Cold War. Like I said, now we're indebted, and our debt is costing more. So if they can just steal all our ideas, they're not going to play ball just like China is. Like, what world do you think that, like, do you see how much land is here? This is us. We think as Americans, we're the center of the universe because we throw the mic between New York and California and project our media power over everyone else, right? And you don't think that this is like the same thing as like what Canada is doing with truckers? If there were people shooting up stuff and with guns we sent them right on the border of Russia or right on the border of the US, you don't think that we would roll tanks too? So it's just complete hypocrisy coming out of the same group of people in the same places. Remember, it's Washington, D.C., but where they went to school is UPenn, MIT, where's Boston? MIT's right here. And like, I just, and Harvard, I don't want to, where's Yale? You know what I mean? I just, if we are going to blame the right people and like there's going to be a World War III and it's going to be a Pearl Harbor type attack to start it off like it always is. It's not going to be a telegraphed message where Biden was saying that Putin was going to attack his own people and kill Ukrainians, which is the same metal. And because they set the game theory up so high, he could just roll in with tanks and look like he's defending them and like not being the aggressor. And then, yeah, they're still calling him the aggressor. They're going to lose that argument. But what I'm saying is, if they're going to attack anywhere, please attack like Cambridge, like right here, where they control all the big pharma Elizabeth Warren lives, and they control the narrative. Like, don't attack like us, like hard workers. Maybe you can attack New York. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Do not attack anyone, people. We are living in a world of economic terrorism, and you have to realize that's damn well. You want to know why 9/11 happened? Because New York was moving too much money and considering itself the center of the universe. That's just damn well why it happened. Don't ban me. People fucking hate that, man. But maybe when you attack people, you're not ever attacking the right people. What I would honestly want terrorism to go towards, and this is like totally like a crazy thing that I just need to say, if you were to attack the like actual decision makers and cause terror in their lives, maybe you would get some places with a value of utility that people could buy in. But this idea that you have like a suicide bomb in order to scare people into what you want because only 100 people die and like there's a huge reaction, the world can go, like that kind of shit like really, really needs to go. And we need to realize that it's Leninism, and as much as we have intelligence agencies that are stirring up and radicalizing people, that's going to continue to happen. CIA has caused more terrorism than it's stopped by 100,000%. These ideas of like just destroying like the economic, like you don't get these ideas of like radicalism without an unfair dynamic. And what I'm trying to say is like, as America, like we have so much resources. We have more than enough. Like we have the oil. We have enough space. We can farm. We can have all the mountains and just like we have everything we need. But there's so much more here and so much more people. Like if capitalism is gonna work, then Africa should be much richer than us in 2100 because they're gonna have way more people. You know, if we're gonna continue to bottle up and pretend that we can just funnel all the money in here, keep on money printing, like the whole split between the North and South wasn't about, you know, the economy as it pertained to labor, as it pertained to the North, which prints and lends and does life insurance and all this insurance crap, like, you know, Warren Buffett type crap, New York Life. And the South that actually has to farm and someone actually has to go in the fields. I mean, they consider their labor to be capital just like the bankers had capital. I mean, I'm not saying that humans can ever be capital. But if you notice when people are talking about Ukraine, they're always talking about the human capital. Ukraine, they want to defend Ukraine for the human capital. It's not for democracy, people. They just want the more people you can control under democracy, the more votes you have, the more power you have. That is why democracy has such a bad incentive. Socrates will say it teaches you to know nothing and be a mob. That's what democracy is. So hopefully we can get like to a point where we can distribute all, and we can all act differently over here, not talk about Europe. Stop buying all the news narratives from this, guys. We just need a little bit of synthesis. It takes a little bit of defense as the market closes right now. But separate. I think everyone should be tired of New York, Texas, Florida, and California dominating the United States. I'm sure everyone should be tired of the New York and California essentially dominating all of Europe. And guys, it's the Europeans that dominate New York. It really is. Every single September when you see the stock market tank, that's because all of Wall Street goes over to France and Europe in August, and they say what bonds they're going to sell and what the break is and what the news story is going to be in September. It happens every single year. This rigged system doesn't help anyone. It only helps elites. Take money from the UK, not put it in the United States, bounce it through either the Caymans, wherever the Caymans are, or Hong Kong, or whatever it is, people. If we just close the loops, remember, these elitist people from Boston, they're going to want to stock all of our stuff and have it be the same types of people so that they can track all the money, have all the information, never lose the data monopoly edge, which is the intelligence agencies. And really just like, yeah. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, DL, Russia likes palladium, gold, you know that, but also palladium and platinum. It's all about energy that is the crude. Natural gas has been pumping up all of these futures and stuff. Guys, yeah. We cannot have a system that is a bunch of profiteering and not have a media that's not calling out the profiteers. It will never work. The reason why World War One or World War Two happened essentially, but the Spanish-American War that ended up destroying the Spanish monarchy, which was the Spanish Civil War, which led up to World War Two. But the Federal Reserve, like you guys got to understand that literally all of the wars over the past 150 years can be tied up together. I mean, even the Napoleon War, we've been through the same battle. It's economics. Marx will say we're going towards an ultimate level where we go past capitalism for so-and-so reason without giving you a fair game that replaces capitalism. What we need is a meritocracy. We got to stop having fake news so that we start wars and we cause problems everywhere. This has multiples of effects and keeps on going. The same people stay in power for decades and destroy the entire world. So hopefully you like that speech. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Peace.